Hi everyone, my name is Edgar Corona, Regional Co-Director for the LMSA-West, and I'm going to be moderating the segment topic entitled About Us. So I'll take a few minutes to talk about who we are and how far our reach is as LMSA-West. As a region, we span 11 states and have active chapters in 6 or 10 of those states, depending on how you look at it. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a bit. And in those 11 states, there are 21 allopathic medical schools and 9 osteopathic medical schools currently matriculating medical students. And of that total, we have active chapters in 71% of allopathic medical schools and 33% of osteopathic medical schools. And so here on the right is a map of our states. And as you can see, our region includes the states of Arizona, California, Hawaii, Nevada, Oregon, Utah, Washington, Wyoming, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho. So do we have active chapters in 6 or 10 states? Which is it? Well, we're proud to include the UW School of Medicine as one of our chapters, and our UW colleagues are good about reminding us that their medical school actually represents 5 states: Wyoming, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho, in addition to Washington through the WWAMI program. So really, our student chapters are active in 10 of the 11 states we represent. And here's a list of total allopathic medical schools in our 11 states. Green is active chapters, and yellow is chapters working on joining the LMSA-West. And here's the same style list for osteopathic medical schools. Again, green is active chapters, and yellow is chapters working on joining the LMSA-West this year. Represented another way, here's a list of our currently active chapters. And here's a list, again, with the 3 chapters working on joining our region this year. So what does it mean to be an active chapter? Well, being an active chapter means that chapters are entitled to all of the privileges of the region. And it's their chapter's responsibility to also send medical students representatives, which we refer to as MSRs, to make up our legislative assembly along with the regional board members, noting that of these 2 groups, So what does it mean to be an active chapter? Well, being an active chapter means that chapters are entitled to all of the privileges of the region. It's the chapter's responsibility to send medical student representatives, which we refer to as MSRs, to make up our legislative assembly along with the regional board members, noting that of these 2 groups that make up the legislative assembly, MSRs and regional board members, only MSRs have voting privilege. So essentially, active chapters send MSRs to our regional meetings, and MSRs then vote on important policy and action items that help our organization meet its mission and objectives. And now you may be wondering how a chapter becomes active and how it goes about joining our region. Well, there are a few really easy steps. The first of which is that the chapter must be active locally at their school. And so there's an initial requirement that they need to have a local chapter with officers who are elected by a majority of the local chapter membership. That chapter must then be able to designate a medical student representative, which at most chapters ends up being an elected position. That chapter also needs a faculty member or administrator to serve as an advisor. The chapter then submits a letter requesting for membership from the region. There's a kind of probation year where we have the chapter join us by attending our 3 quarterly regional board meetings for that year. And once they've attended those 3 meetings, they present to the Legislative Assembly on their progress, and the Legislative Assembly essentially will vote the chapter in. So you might imagine that making sure our organization runs smoothly is a lot of work, but luckily our region and its chapters are robust enough that we have substantial help. We have a fairly sized regional board with 20 officer positions, and we're structured around a 5-position C-level staff, if you will, which we refer to as the Executive Board Member Committee, or E-Board for short. And in the E-Board, there's our 2 co-directors, a director-elect, a chief financial officer, and the chief information officer. And it's this 5-member committee that meets more regularly, on average once every 2 weeks, and more often as needed. We also tap and activate our VPs to help us work as a unit. And in addition to that, VPs also have defined responsibilities that they work to fulfill throughout the year when their schedules permit. So here's a graphic of our structure, as well as the names of the current leadership for this year, 2018-2019. Thank you, and I hope this segment was helpful in helping you understand a little bit more about the LMSA West.